Good afternoon from Little Creek Bee Ranch. We have a unique lesson today. I thought I would share this with most of you here. Some of you are going to do the same thing that I'm going to show you here, and you're going to make the same mistake. But when you're looking at it in retrospect, it's real easy. You wonder, gosh, how could you do that? So some of you followed along, and we caught 3 queens in one swarm, and we filmed that. We were fortunate enough that my wife Kelly was able to be out there with us, and we filmed catching the swarm and 3 queens. So here's a little bit of review and do's and don'ts and what happened to us and how we ended up with 2 dead queens. First of all, you see the little blue 1-ounce bottles. We'll save all the dead queens and we'll put them in the little blue bottles. We'll actually put all the queens, the dead queens, in a little half-pint jar of alcohol, rubbing alcohol. There must be a dozen in there already. And that will be a swarm lure. We use that and sell that. It's $20 a bottle for a little blue bottle. So never throw away your old queens, however they end up dead. And we just use regular isopropyl alcohol just to preserve them and to use a queen pheromone that's in there. The alcohol dries up when you rub it around inside the brew box. Anyway, so here's a scenario of what happened the other day. We checked on these queens a couple of days ago. They were dead in both cages. First of all, we don't like plastic clips. This was one of the first ones that we bought. If you look at the tension, this is a little firmer, harder to open. This one opens very easily, and you'll accidentally punch it out, or punch it, and the queen jumps out. So I don't. This is show and tell, really. I don't like these. Okay, so when you buy the clips, get stainless steel, and when you buy them, buy 6, 8, 10, or a dozen. You're going to need them more than you realize. So what happened? So we found 3 queens. Let's push this back out of the way. Let's just say that these 3 little blocks represent our swarm. So we caught 1 queen on the bush after we were coming into the box. We caught a 2nd queen, and yet we caught a 3rd queen, and we put them all in the brood box with the swarm. Now that's temporary holding. Some students said, "Well, gosh, how come you didn't just split them up right then?" Because we're in the throes of the moment, dadgummit. You get so focused and tunnel visioned, you just got to get to some stability, a stable point, and then think about it. In retrospect, what I did do that I'll change up, I put the queen in a clip towards the back and the ends of the brood box. Next time I will scoot them forward towards the middle of the cluster so they stay warmer. Right, so they stay warmer, but you put them to the outside ends, they get a little cold. Scooch the clip in. I hang them between frames, just yay so, between the top bars, so the girls will take care of them. Okay, that's one change I would make, is scoot them in, not to the ends, but towards the middle of the cluster. The other change I would make is to separate them after a couple of days. I don't want a queen clipped up more than 2 days. The girls begin to abandon them and think that they're just defunct and they just bleed right out of the box. So I would wait two days and then split them out. But now we didn't do that. Okay, we didn't do that because we had rain come through. So what I ended up doing is I went over to another brood box. I pulled 2 frames out of bees, good workers, put them in a nuke. I pulled another 2 frames out, put them in a nuke. Both of these were queenless. I brought them over. I sprayed the bees with our sugar water lemongrass oil. Shouldn't have done that because it smells like a different queen. And then I used the 2 queens I had here. They were all alive and viable. This queen we gave back to the swarm, dumped her in. You just open the clip once. You don't chop the clip. You'll cut her in 8 pieces. Open the clip, dump her in, and she'll go down. So they have a queen. And then I put these queens, they had already been clipped up for 3 days. I clipped these, or put these queens in the clip, put them with the nukes, drove them around the section, came back and reset them. The next day, that would be, I think, the 4th day, I went back to open them, and there they are dead. Now, what happened here? When I opened these, there was dead workers inside, and some live workers. So the workers can go in and out these little slots. What we suspect is we did such a quick introduction that the workers said, nope, not happening, not taking this queen, and they jumped in there and stung her and killed her. Now, I can say that because the other one was the same way. Both of them were dead. If one got cold, the other would stay warm, and probably I'd have one live and one dead, but I got two dead queens. And I think the workers jumped in there and stung her. Okay, so now retrospect. I think what I will do in the future, and I know some students say this, but you're sitting in your couch, living room, thinking about it, see? And you're out in the field, and you got to make decisions on your feet. So I would leave the 3 clips in there for 2 days, and then come back in and assess the volume of bees that I have. What kind of bees do I have? And then go ahead and break out some frames and separate. Now here's the key. The bees, when you get back in the second day, they will be all over this cage, inside and out. And they're just milling about. And you can tell they want the queen because you can gently sweep off the bees with your finger. If they're trying to ball her and kill her, you pick them off like Velcro. They're hard to get off. They're very determined to kill her. But they weren't like that. So I should have just, even if it was 1 frame of bees, the fact, hindsight's always 20/20, the fact that they accepted these queens, all 3 were accepted, all 3 of them. All 3 of them had plenty of bees on there. I know it would have been a small colony, and I could have done that. I probably could have just split them right where they were and just made 3 sets without driving them around. They were already used to the spot. They had had 2 days on site right there at the spot. The whole key was that they had already accepted these queens. But you get all in a hot lather and you want to go over to another group and grab 2 frames of bees here and 2 frames of bees here. Now I'm deplenished in bees here. These bees are okay. We did notching and crushing on them and they're raising a queen. But I'm out 2 queens. Okay, so I'm trying to help you understand. You can watch the video again. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. The point is, the key is, you need to pay attention to the bees that have accepted the queen. And you'll be able to tell. They'll be milling about and all over. They'll want her out. You can tell they're excited to get her out. If they've already accepted her, the danger is to take that queen and match her up with another set of bees. No matter what you spray on them, I understand you can spray Welch's grape juice to help accept a queen. I don't doubt that will work, but I'm saying these bees are so sensitive, you're just throwing in a queen on them and they're going, that's not going to happen. So before you split everybody up, read the bees. If you catch multiple queens in a swarm, clip them up if you can and leave them no more than 2 days, and then go in there and assess what you have. And they'll be on one spot. See, they're spot sensitive, so all you got to do is spread everybody out, and you should be okay. If these 2 are strong colonies and this one is weak as far as field bees, switch them around. Take this one over to the right and slide it in the middle and let her load up with some field bees. Don't be scared to switch them around. The whole point is, I could have done that. I wasn't thinking, and I could have had 3 viable queens operating where these workers had accepted all 3 of them. See that? That's why you follow along and learn. I hope I made a difference for somebody. Hey, happy bee hunting.